everybody, and welcome to a new episode of Cue the Chat. My name's Fionn Lynch. I have not been here for a while. It's been a while. I made a commitment to come back for I don't even know when it was, but of course, since I did that, I haven't been back. That's always the way it goes. It's been a while. I haven't been here since the Wednesday of the World Open, which was like the 26th of February, which is mental. We're already in April, and the World Championships is coming around. So I'm just hopping on here quick. I mean, I haven't got a whole pile, ready to go. I'm literally just going to be talking about the tournaments that have happened. I've got no premise like I did in the last few. I've got the Tour Championship on at the moment. 2025 Tour Championship. I don't know why I said the year. You know what year it is, and if you don't, it's a bit of an issue, to be honest. I've got the Table 2 match on Mark Williams against Ding Junhui. Why this wasn't the Table 1 match, I don't know. I would have swapped it with the Mark Selby Se Xiaohui, not Si Xiaohui, as we've been saying for the past while. It's actually Se Xiaohui. I don't know why they didn't switch those two around, have two afternoons, or two evening sessions on Table 2. I would have switched those two around, and I would have had this as the opening match. So I would have had this one in the slot that Sean Murphy and Barry Hawkins had, which was morning or afternoon and evening of the opening day. Then I would have had the Murphy Hawkins match as the afternoon and evening of Tuesday, and then I would have put Mark Selby and Se Xiaohui on the two evening Table 2 rounds, just because I feel like this match, the Williams match, is going to attract a bigger audience than the other one. I mean, even just looking at the audiences, like there seems to be more people at the Table 2 match. I would have preferred to have watched this match. It's a minor gripe. There's a lot of Chinese fans actually in the audience. Yesterday, after the first session, he was absolutely bombarded with people. But yeah, we're gonna start with the World Open. I was about to say the World Cup because it's called the Wheeled Cup World Open. So if I call it the World Cup, I mean World Open. John Higgins won it. Oh, I don't know if it just picked that up, but it's very windy around here. The wind has just closed my bathroom door. John Higgins against Joe O'Connor was the final, and I was very happy for John. I would have liked to see Joe O'Connor win it, but I don't mind seeing John Higgins win a tournament after it's been so long. And he played very well all week. Now he did have a couple of scares, not least against Joey Long, which I talked about in the last episode. But it's been so long, I may as well say it again. He looked sick. I think he was sick. He, after only a couple of shots in the final frame, he went off to the toilet. He looked a bit yipsy. Like, there was a couple of shots where he wasn't pushing through straight. Which you could also say about Ding Junhui. Now, I don't think this is going to go out before the end of this match. But if Ding Junhui gets through, which it looks like it, just have a look at a couple of his shots. Because I know he's had issues with the yips in the past. But just have a look at his Q arm. And on a couple of shots, I've noticed that he's gone halfway through, and he's like his brain has tried to stop him, and he's just been trying to push on through, and he's missed every medium difficulty shot that he's missed, that I've seen anyway, that I've noticed. That's what's happened. He's just done it right there, as I'm speaking, on a safety shot. 6 points up, 7-3 in the 11th frame, if you want to go back and have a look at that. John Higgins, what a sidetrack. Yeah, he played well. It's his first ranking event win since the Players in 21, which I'll be talking about, the 25 version, in a few moments. The second oldest winner after the late great Ray I do apologise. After the late great Ray Reardon. That was that was nice to see. I mean, a break of exactly 100 in the final frame, so I'm over the line, and I know there was a few people complaining actually that on TNT Sports they cut away to show the cycling before the ceremony. I mean, that's not a major gripe to be honest. I know I'm dragging it up quite a long time after it happened, but the cycling had been waiting for 2 hours. Was it an hour and a half or 2 hours to get onto the TV? So I mean, it would have taken them 10-15 minutes to set up the ceremony, and there would have been cycling fans waiting to watch it. So I've no gripe there. I managed to watch it all because I was watching on WST Play with a VPN. I actually got a great deal on a VPN last night. It's called Surfshark. It was 60 quid for a year. It was like a year plus 4 months. They give you 4 months free. Because I found a link. It's just somebody's affiliate link. I don't know. And then when I checked out, they were like, "Would you like to pay 30 more euro for an extra 12 months?" I was like, "Yeah, absolutely." So until the 31st of July 2027 for 90 euro, I've got Surfshark VPN, which means I'll be able to watch things like the snooker on WST Play. That's how I'm watching Table 2 now of the Tour Championship on ITVX. I went through absolute hell to try and get that on the Fire Stick, the ITVX app. I had to create a new Amazon account, set it as a UK account, then it asked me for an address, so I set it as the Crucible Theatre. Then I had to log in on the Fire Stick with that account, which means that it wiped my other account, so I can't watch Amazon Prime on the Fire Stick anymore. But that's fine. I don't really watch anything on Amazon Prime. Then I had to go on the VPN. I had to turn it on so that it would be on when it boots back up next time. Then I had to unplug the Fire Stick for about 10 seconds for the whole thing to reset. Then I had to plug it back in. And then on the boot up, then the VPN turns on. So then I had my location set as the UK. And then when I checked the IP address, it said I was in the UK. And so I was able to download ITVX, but it was a real pain. It took me like half an hour to set up. So, but hey, I'm able to watch the Ding Junhui Mark Williams match. Another massive sidetrack. Okay. But just a word on Joe O'Connor. What a run that he had there. It was absolutely fantastic. So then the tour rolled on to the World Grand Prix in the cuethechat Arena. Now, I thought that this looked on TV absolutely amazing. It looked absolutely out of this world. The arena looked really nice. I thought the score graphics looked really nice. When they scored a century, the frame scored started flashing with century. It had I believe it had the OLED screen like they have in the Tour Championship, the advertising board. I believe that's what it had, but again, this tournament was like, when was it? The 4th of March. That was nearly a month ago. Just absolutely mental. I do apologize for not being here. But yeah, there was a lot of great matches. I thought the TV coverage was excellent. Just the way that they did it. That Now TV in Hong Kong did it, who were the host broadcasters. Yeah, but there were not too many shocks in the first round, really. Gary Wilson has got on a horrid vein of form. I mean, you wouldn't really expect him to beat Judd Trump, but still, he is on an absolutely torrid vein of form. Ronnie O'Sullivan pulled out again, which was the last tournament, really, that he can pull out of this season, unless he pulls out of the World Champs, but, I very much doubt he will, because he didn't qualify for the Players of the Tour, which meant that Hossein Rafai stood in for him and beat Se Jiahui 4-3. Se is on an absolute torrid form. His form's absolutely tragic. There was a shot that he played this afternoon where he was playing with the spider and he hits it, and as he does so, his hand comes up, lifts the cue off, and the cue just falls into the reds. Oh man, I felt so bad for him when I watched that shot back. That was pretty terrible. Was there any other big shocks? Ding Junhui going out actually against Zhu Se. not as juicy. Like I used to literally call him Juicy. I don't know what I was going on about there. Zusa beat Ding Junhui 4-3. Mark Williams going out against Stuart Bingham, who made it all the way to the final. That was a bit of a shock, to be honest. Jimmy Robertson beating Mark Allen was a shock as well. Although I haven't seen Mark Allen win a match in ages. I haven't seen him play. Oof, I'd say it was nearly the start of the season since I watched him play. Yeah, it's just I don't like watching him play anyway. I don't really like his style. But yeah, that's really the main shocks. Then we move on to round number 2. Jack Lazowski pulled out. His father passed away, so he flew back to the UK. So condolences to Jack. Not that he's listening, but condolences nonetheless. So Judd Trump got a bye into round 3. Hossein Vafai beat Zhu Sus, the man who wasn't even in the tournament until a couple of days before it, is now into round 3, bear in mind. Stuart Bingham beat Wu Yiza. There's no great shocks here, because, I mean, Neil Robertson against Dave Gilbert's a good game. Neil beat Dave 4-1. Watching him at the start of the week, Neil Robertson looked like he was nearly playing an exhibition. Some of the shots he was taking on, how quickly he was getting down playing them, I thought it was very, very fun to watch. Yeah, and that match was no different. It was over pretty quick as well, as far as I remember. Sean Murphy beat Barry Hawkins 4-1, and John Higgins beating Kyron Wilson by 4 frames to 2. John Higgins, of course, after winning the World Open, not the World Cup. I did nearly say World Cup that time. I stopped myself. After he had only just won the World Open. Sean Murphy then beat John Higgins 5-3 in the quarterfinals. They made a big thing about it being John Higgins' 147th ranking event quarterfinal. I suppose it is because because it's the basically he went into the lead. But the way that they put it up online, I thought he was after making a maximum and I'd missed it. But yeah. Neil Robertson beating Zhao Gudong. They played already this season, didn't they? Let me double check that, because I seem to remember them playing once or twice last season. So I'm just on Q Tracker here and we'll have a look. World Grand Prix. What? They haven't played. Oh yeah, the Championship League. That must have been the ranking edition. Yeah, they played at the World Grand Prix. Championship League. They haven't played since 20. Oh boys, it says they haven't played since 2023. I swear to God, I remember them playing before. Once or twice this last season. What? That's weird. Yeah, Bingham beat Selby, and Judd Trump beat Hossein Vafai 5-0 with 4 centuries, and made the highest break of the tournament in that match. Then the semis, Stuart Bingham beat Judd Trump 6-3, and Neil Robertson beat Sean Murphy 6-5. Now, there were, what was it? Oh my God, sorry, I've just seen the peak when I brought the microphone that close. I do apologize. I probably broken someone's ears. Neil Robertson 10-0 winner over Stuart Bingham. I didn't really watch any of the second session because I was asleep for the first session because I was working until, I don't know, was it 2 o'clock in the morning, so I stayed in bed. I had a lovely night's sleep. Oh, mama. Whatchamacallit, so he went 9-0 up. It turned out that multiple people belonging to Stuart Bingham had passed away that week. So there we can understand him doing that. Whatchamacallit. Yeah, we can definitely understand him not performing, but I didn't watch any of the second session because Neil Robertson had all but secured it, essentially. Yeah, he was 8-0 up after the first session, and yeah, he won there. So congratulations to Neil. Again, commiserations to Stuart Bingham. So then the tour rolled on to the sportsbet.io Players Championship. Now that was in Telford at the Telford International Centre. Um, Mark Allen would have been the defending champion, even though he said they didn't even want to be in it. He said in an interview before that. Actually, before we go here, there was an incident in the first round. I believe it was Karen Wilson against Matt Selt that was on at the time. After one of the frames, they came into the arena and basically took all the spectators out. And they told the commentators when they released whatever, saying that it was a curfew that they were going to breach if they didn't get out of there. Now, when I heard that, I was thinking, how is this going to work? Because if there's a curfew, surely the players are going to get done over by this. But it turned out it wasn't a curfew. It was the buses, that there was going to be no buses going through the cuethechat arena, or going past the cuethechat arena. So they'd essentially all be stuck there. Any of them that didn't drive. But they evacuated everyone and told us that it was a curfew. I don't know what their thinking behind that was. In the end, they put on more buses for the rest of the tournament. But it's just. I mean, a little bit better communication would have been handy there, because telling everybody that there's a curfew probably isn't the best idea. But yeah, we'll move on to the players. We're gonna start down at the bottom. Judd Trump against Leipei Fan Judd Trump, 6-2 winner. Sean Murphy beat Barry Hawkins 6-4. Zhao Gudong against Wu Yiza. Zhao Gudong won 6-5. John Higgins beat Chris Wakeland. Neil Robertson beat Stuart Bingham. I read Stuart Carrington. That was I don't know why. That was a repeat of the final two weeks previous. And Neil Robertson won again. Mark Selby beat Zhou Xiaohui. Again, terrible form at the moment. Zhou Xiaohui. Mark Williams beat Ding Junhui 6-2, and it looks for all the world like Ding Junhui is going to overturn that, really. He's 8-2 up and he's in the balls at the moment. He's on a break of 14, 8-3 up. So it's looking like it's going to be a Ding Junhui win there. And Karen Wilson beat Mark Allen 6-3 after Mark said that he didn't want to be in the tournament. So that was the first round. Then the second round, Judd Trump beat Sean Murphy 6-0. What a game that was. Judd Trump absolutely battering by. He absolutely battered Sean Murphy there. But there was nothing Sean could do about it. Judd Trump just played absolutely superb. John Higgins beat Zhao Gudong 6-5. There's a decider. Neil Robertson beat Mark Selby 6-3. And Karen Wilson beat Mark Williams 6-3. Okay. So then we move on to the semi-finals. Karen Wilson against Neil Robertson. What a match. That was on Friday evening. What a flipping match. That was absolutely excellent. I was dipping in and out of it, but it was quality throughout. Honestly, and so was the judge from John Higgins semi-final. Judd Trump winning there. It was absolute quality from start to finish. It was very, very much enjoyable to watch. And then we move on to the final. Karen Wilson beating Judd Trump 10-9 in the final. They did have a bit of an issue there with the cue ball. Apparently it was playing like a ping pong ball, was what Judd Trump said. But they changed the cue ball. I mean, the cue ball could have been the wrong size. Alan McManus went over this properly in his Players Championship roundup, if you want to hear properly, because I don't really know what I'm talking about. I would just be repeating what he said and probably misquoting him. So if you want to hear about that properly, go listen to Alan's podcast, because it's very good. It's it's a lot of podcasts, I will say. He releases one every day of a tournament that he's working on. And they could be 30-40 minutes, and if you miss one, you've got like an hour and a half of podcast to be catching up on. But it is very good. It's excellent. Um, yeah. But yeah, they changed out the cue ball. They still seem to be having issues. Why they didn't just change out the whole set of balls? Because they would have had at least one set from the matches from table 2. They would have had a spare set. They would have had sets on the practice table. Just change out the set. Do you know what I mean? If you're having issues, just change the set of balls. Yeah, and then the tour has now rolled on to the tour championship. As I say, Ding Junhui is 8-3 up on Mark Williams. I'm just gonna reload the page here, and Mark Selby is now only 6-4 up on Se Xiaohui. That I believe was 6-2 when they resumed. So Se is really is putting it up to Mark at the moment. The other results so far are Barry Hawkins battering Sean Murphy. Barry Hawkins played so well. He won 10-1. He played so well. It was 3-1 at the mid-session interval of the first. My apologies. The first session. And Sean didn't win another frame. It was absolutely blistering in the first session. Oh my goodness, I'm only getting over a cold, so I do apologise. Barry Hawkins played superb in the first session. It was a bit scrappier in the second session. Barry Hawkins' levels dropped, and Sean's dropped with him, really. So Barry Hawkins was still the better player. Yeah, Sean Murphy, he's had a couple of bad defeats. Last 2 tournaments, 10-1 and 6-0. Probably not great for the CV, I won't lie. Not great for the CV. Especially coming up to the World Championship. But nonetheless, he was on I keep saying blistering form. I need to come up with some sort of another phrase. He was on excellent form just before the Masters and right through up until about the World Grand Prix, where he kind of fell off a small bit. But you know, it's whatever. Sean Murphy is a class act, and I'm sure he'll perform at the World Championship in a few weeks' time. Xiao Guodong, just this afternoon, beat Wu Yiza 10-8. So that it might be yesterday evening when you're listening to this, but as I'm recording on the 1st of April, Tuesday the 1st of April 2025, it's this afternoon, and Xiao Guodong has beaten Wu Yiza. That was what was it, 5:30? So there wasn't a whole lot of time between the 2 sessions. But yeah, Ding Junhui 9-3 up now. He's just clearing up to go 9-3 up. He's missed a couple of centuries this match. He could have had a century in nearly all the frames that he won, apart from the opener, and I believe this will be the first one if he does make it. But yeah, there's 2 matches that we know for sure in the quarterfinals, which start tomorrow, which start on the 2nd of April, Wednesday the 2nd of April 2025. Because this is going out at 8 o'clock, so for most of you are probably going to be listening on the Wednesday or the Thursday. So yeah, Judd Trump against Barry Hawkins. That will be an excellent game. A repeat of the UK Championship final and the first round at the Masters. Yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. That's going to be on table 1, I should think. And John Merkins, yes, my favourite snooker player, John Merkins. John Higgins will be playing against Xiao Guodong. He is they're going to be playing, I assume, on table 2. They are going to be playing 2 afternoon sessions on Wednesday and Thursday. Judd Trump and Barry Hawkins are going to be playing straight through. They're going to be playing the afternoon and the evening on Wednesday. Karen Wilson and what looks to be Ding Junhui or Mark Williams will be playing straight through on the Thursday, and Neil Robertson against Mark Selby or Se Jiahui will be 2 evenings on the Wednesday and the Thursday. So that's pretty much all I've got. Um, I haven't been. I wouldn't say I haven't been around, but I also wouldn't say I haven't been bothered. I don't know. I just haven't recorded a pod in a while. But I won't confirm that we're back. But I've certainly enjoyed this. Mostly because I didn't have to do any prep. I was just reading out scores and telling you what I thought about them. But yeah, the Tour Championship is going to be great all week. I do really enjoy the ITV coverage. I used to hate that it was on ITV for a while because before I had access to VPNs and fucking WST Play and all this crack. It's so difficult to get over here. I've got a couple of ways of watching the snooker now. What has happened here? My clock app has just opened. I hope we're still recording. Yeah, we are. That's fine. I thought that the clock app was just after stopping me from recording. Thanks be to God, because I was not doing another 27 minutes. What was I saying? I can't remember. Do you know what? I'm actually gonna go and listen back because I can't remember. Yes, it was about how difficult ITVX is to get over here. I mean, I know I harp on about it a bit, but it is so difficult to get over here. But yeah. We're gonna end it here. Thank you so much for listening if you're still here, because I haven't posted in quite a while. Don't forget to rate, review, send emails. I haven't checked the inbox in a while. We will quickly check the inbox before we go. While I'm doing that, you can of course email us. cuethechat@gmail.com is the email address. You can also send us all different types of you can send us messages on all of the social medias and all that crack. But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, follow us TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. You can email us, all that jazz. We will see you soon. Before qualifiers, I hope. Not going to commit, but hopefully before the World Qualifiers. I want to go so badly, but I can't find anybody to go with me. Because I'd love to go over to Sheffield to go and see them, but nobody will go over with me. And as essentially a boy, I'm a boy. I don't think I'll be allowed to go over on my own, but yeah, it would be nice, certainly. But anyway, we will see you soon. And as I was about to say, as we always say, we don't always say it, but as I sometimes say, adios.